Ciryl Gane versus Tai Tuivasa. Man, these are two big guys that both can get in there and do a lot of damage, right? On the one hand, we've got Ciryl Gane. This dude, a lot of hype coming up with him, right? A lot of momentum, a lot of public support, a lot of people talking about how he's going to be a future champion, right? Heading into that fight with Francis Ngannou. Even after the fight with Ngannou, a lot of people talking about how what he put on there, the experience level that he's currently at, the camp that he has, who he's training with, that the future is incredibly bright for him, man, that he's going to continue to shoot forward. And I get it. You look at what he brings to the heavyweight division. It's just typically not stuff that you see from heavyweights, right? In a way, don't take this the wrong way, but in a way, I remember people talking about him, or they're talking about him in a way that I remember them talking about Jon Jones, okay? Now, it's completely different in a lot of ways, don't get me wrong, but what I'm saying is this. When Jon Jones came in and he was fighting, one of the big talking points about him, and one of the things that we always said was that he was bringing something to the division that people weren't used to. It was the style, it was the angles, it was the way he was using his length, it was the creativity with his striking. Right? It was just catching guys off guard. They didn't really know how to handle it, and we saw guys get confused. Now look, Ciryl Gane, have we seen the things that he's done in the octagon? Have we seen him do anything incredibly new or revolutionary or anything like that? No, that's not the situation. But look at what he's doing in the heavyweight division. That's the thing. We don't see heavyweights typically move like him. We don't see them with the shot selection. We don't see him so light on their feet. Dominic Cruz put it good. I was watching one of the fights in the analysis for this, doing some handicap, and he said, it's like he's jumping rope everywhere he goes. It's like this dude's constantly skipping rope, just on the balls of his feet, constantly moving, being light. Heavyweights aren't used to dealing with that, right? And then he understands how to come in. He can fight at all distances, short, middle, long. Great with elbows on the inside, knows how to use kicks from the outside, knows how to just tap you from the outside and mix up the power, and then come in with much heavier strikes when the opportunity presents themselves. Great all the way around, right? Very, very skilled fighter. Standing across from him, Tai Tuivasa. Man, when you think of him, you have to think about those knockouts. You have to think about that incredible power. It's like, and here's the thing. It's easy to mischaracterize him. It's easy to think of him as a guy who's a brawler, a knockout artist, a guy who just wants to go in there and get after it and just bang, right? And part of it is because of the way that he presents himself. That's how he goes. He's like, hey, man, this is who I am. I'm in there. I'm trying to get after it. Meet me in the center of the octagon, and we're going to see who falls down first. Right? We've seen him say things like that time and time again. We see him on social media, and the way this dude just parties out of control and just who he is as a person. So it's not real. In some ways, it's a mischaracterization. In some ways, it's not. But it's a mischaracterization in the sense that you may be led to believe he doesn't take his craft seriously, or you may be led to believe that he's not constantly improving his skills, that he's not working on the nuances. But man, you would be wrong. You would be wrong. He's getting better in the clinch. He's getting better with his striking. Yeah, he's got one-punch knockout power. That's what you can't teach. That's what you can't train. He's already got that. But his hands are getting faster. His shot selection's getting better. His counters are getting even more crisp. That counter left hook that he fired off against Augusto Sakai to start off the sequence where he ended up getting the stoppage, really impressive, right? The way he was able to weather the storm against Derek Lewis and turn around and be able to catch him with that right hand. Turn around and flip that into the elbow up against the cage where he had Lewis face plant. Very impressive, right? He's continually getting better. He's using feints much more. He's a little bit better on the way that he comes in. He's not quite so heavy. He's not quite so predictable. At the same time, we see him get caught a lot, right? We know he's got a good chin because we've seen it get tested. We saw Greg Hardy come in there and just rock and put him on the chicken legs. But did he come back from it and end up smoking Hardy with the left hook? Yeah, right. Incredibly formidable opponent, right? But he's not a man who I would say is well-rounded. You think his jiu-jitsu's top-notch? You think his wrestling's great? I mean, we saw Derek Lewis get him down. And Derek Lewis likes to joke that he's an All-American. Nice little inside trip. Nevertheless, we saw what happened, and that's when Tuivasa caught all them shots up against the cage, right? And he was able to weather it, and most people can't. But eventually it catches up with you, and maybe you would make the argument that Ciryl Gane doesn't have the power that Derek Lewis does, but what if he's landing those shots for 5 rounds because he's much more elusive and he doesn't get caught with a right hand like Derek Lewis does? So a lot of variables there, right? But if you mischaracterize this man as just being a brawler, you are doing him a disservice, and you're doing yourself a disservice in the sense that you probably aren't appreciating everything that he brings to the table. So look, when it's all said and done, I'm going with Ciryl Gane on this one. I think he's going to get the win, and I think that at the end of the day, The story of the fight is going to be the versatility. It's going to be his ability to be light on his feet, use lateral movement, get out of the way when Tai Tuivasa wants to engage, be able to find ways to get underneath his shots, those big hooks or the right hand, find ways to back away and frustrate him, and then close the gap when he wants to and land his shots. Land a bunch of those kicks because Tuivasa is heavy on that front leg. Find ways to inside the clinch to land the short elbows, pivot off, spin him and get Tuivasa's back against the cage, right? Maybe even get some takedowns here and there and land some ground and pound. I don't know, like I said, I don't know how Tuivasa is going to be off his back. He just powered his way up against Derek Lewis. Ate a lot of shots in the process. Gane probably would be able to be a little bit more successful, right? He's a little bit more agile. He's a little bit more explosive, athletic than what we see out of a guy like Derek Lewis trying to maintain top position. So I think Ciryl Gane gets the win on this one. However, I will say this. Tai Tuivasa is a live dog. He's always there. I hate the line. Okay, I hate the line on this one. It's like minus 560. I don't know. I don't think you can justify making Tuivasa that much of a dog with what we've seen from him. That one-punch power that he has, the way he's continuing to progress with his striking skill, the way he's just doing things and moving and still trying to be better. He's a relatively young guy. He's hungry. I mean, I don't like the line at all. But I totally understand Gane being a favorite. I think Gane's going to come out with the victory in this one. So let me know what you guys think. Am I underestimating what Tai Tuivasa is bringing to the table? Because I love dude. I love what he brings. I love seeing everything about him. I follow him on social media and stuff. He's a great character. He's a very good fighter. I wish him the best. Just don't think he's going to get the victory in this one. Or is it a situation where I'm overestimating what Ciryl Gane brings? Now that he got that loss on his record against Ngannou, has he been figured out? Is there a blueprint out there? Let me know what you guys think.